Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of the Panty Nectar podcast. It is your host always, Panty Nectar, and hello to everyone live with us on OnlyFans and the premium members on Discord. So thankful you guys are here today. We have a pretty steamy show lined up for you guys. We are going to talk all things balls, but before we get into the episode, I would love to introduce my lovely co-host and husband, Mr. P.
Hello, Panty Nectar. How are you, my dear?
There should be like a drum roll inserted right there.
I like it. I like that little intro you gave me. It sounded good. And husband, it was the first time
He
you gave me that
husband.
credibility here. Yeah, I like it. It's
You're
awesome.
so funny. That's so funny. He said
Yes,
that's
Panty
awesome.
Nectar. It is 37th episode of the Panty Nectar podcast.
Freaking 7.
I know I say this every time, but it is so great to be here. I can't believe we are this far into it, and it's just amazing. I'm so excited for the show we have today, and especially since we're going to be talking about balls. And before the show, you told me that you're going to give this little demonstration towards the end.
Yeah.
So I'm
like,
as
you
can tell-
are going to stand right here.
there. Yeah, I was like, okay, sounds perfect. Let's get it all set up. Yeah, so it's great to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, 37. I can't even believe. I'm like, what have we talked about for 37 episodes
That's
now?
probably what our fans are saying too.
Right? I'm like,
What the fuck are you guys doing? You know?
what the fuck are y'all even doing?
No, we
Oh my
love you guys.
gosh.
Thank you so much. And the podcast keeps growing, and everybody is jumping on, and we're just so happy to have you.
It's been really awesome to be able to, time flies when you're having fun. And, I just can't even believe that we're already at 37. Who knows how many more we're going to do? It's just crazy to think about.
A lot.
I know. I'm very excited
Thousands.
to be getting out of the dirty 30s and into the 40s, because we actually have some pretty good ones that we've tossed around, and we've gotten lots of input from the fans, lots of messages.
Yep.
So that's been really awesome to hear. So I think we're going to do a few podcasts about relationship stuff, how we keep it hot after having kids in this life that we have.
Right.
How do we balance everything? And I don't know, we just have some really fun topics coming up, so I'm excited about that as well.
Very excited, Panty
Yes.
Nectar.
So today, in light of all things balls, I don't know, I feel like balls needed to have its own episode.
Yeah, it's like the ball. You're exactly right, and I'm so glad you brought this up and that you give the balls the credibility that they need. It's like I think the balls, oftentimes, to use an analogy that the Texans would get, they play second fiddle, to the dick, right? I mean, it's like the cock always gets the attention. I mean, like even when people say cock and balls, right? Well, why does cock come first? Well,
Balls and cock.
yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. So I mean, of course, right? The dick is very important. I mean,
Right.
that's like, like when you're getting a blowjob. I mean, when you're having sex, that's actually what is being played with or inserted sexually, whatever's going on there.
Yeah.
But the balls are very, very sensitive, and so like for guys, and I think it's kind of like anal play, in a way. There's people who just don't like their balls being played with at all. Like dead serious. Like I've seen Reddit comments about people talking about like they don't like. I'm like, how do you not like your balls being played with?
Yeah.
But then I think back, I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. Like when I was first starting out sexually, it was like, like my balls is so sensitive. It's like, I don't even know what to, like someone licks them or grabs them. You're like, oh shit. It's like, damn, that like heightened the awareness really quickly.
Right.
But so like, and everybody has their different tastes, right? Or flavors, what they're into.
Flavors.
Some guys like being kicked in the nuts. We know that.
Oh,
the ball busting thing, which we've
watched
talked
a
about.
few porn videos that have been like, Mr. P and I love watching porn together, and including our own.
Yes.
And we watch videos sometimes just like out of interest because we're curious. And God, we've seen some crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like a part of me is like, you could do that though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You could definitely do that. But with me, so like there's people into that, but then there's also like I like the soft, sensual ball touching, like just like the gentle rubs, slow caressing, and like that totally fits into, kind of who you are sexually. Like you like it like slow and sensual in a way, like when you're doing something,
Right,
you know,
right.
like when you're like riding or like when you're grinding, it's just like this slow, sensual fucking, right?
Yeah.
Or sucking, whatever it is. And so like when you grab my balls, like I remember like when I was like, damn, like this shit feels real good. You know, it's like you kind of it's almost like a stress relief ball for
Right.
you, you know?
Yes. Oh my
Like, you're
God.
just rubbing it.
I love balls. I was telling we were actually just talking about this the other day. But I was just like, I think like my favorite part on a guy is his balls. I think like I love being at the nude beach and looking at everyone's soft dick in their balls to see
Yes.
like he said yes. To see like, you know, I like low hanging, like nice heavy balls. I don't know why though.
Probably why you like gold dudes. Their fucking balls hanging to
That's
their
probably
knees.
why. We were watching like Jackass 4.5 the other day or something, and that scene where they're all
my
and Mr.
God.
P's like, Jesus Christ, and I'm like, look at all of their balls. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackass. They take it pretty far with
They
like, the
do
dick.
with some
Oh
of their
my
stuff.
God.
It's yeah.
It's like they like everything has to do with like shoving something in somebody's ass.
Yeah,
right?
y'all
Like
think I'm dirty.
Like Steve-O needs like it's not just like one bottle rocket now. He needs like 5 of them.
Yeah, they go pretty hard. They go pretty hard. But yeah, I just love I love balls. So, you know, that brings up the topic of shaving your balls. I know you do. Is that like something, you know, is that a preference thing? Do you want to keep that stuff smooth? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I prefer nice smooth balls.
Right.
But
That's a great question. You know, I think it's just kind of like an appearance thing for most people. I mean, maybe some guys do it for hygiene reasons. You know,
Right.
I just think like, you know, like shaving my cock, like that feels better. Like when your dick's like completely
Yeah.
shaven, it feels better when you're having sex versus like if you let it grow out a little bit. You know, like it's
There's
like
some padding
more
and stuff.
friction.
Yeah.
You know, but your balls, like it's just kind of like indifferent. It's like whether
Mhm.
your balls are shaved or not. But I think it looks better, you know, and
And
like
it's probably more appealing maybe to most of the opposite sex, you know, to your partner.
well, I think yeah, absolutely. Since you know, you just said you know you talk about you like
Yeah.
the shave balls and you know, I just it's kind of a personal thing for me. Like I would if I was licking a dude's balls, just like if I was licking a chick's pussy. Like I don't
You'd
want there
want
to
it-
be a lot of hair down there.
Yeah,
That's just my
exactly,
preference, right
yeah.
now. Totally get right. There's people who are into hair.
Everyone's
there are people who are
different.
into hairy armpits, pussies, dicks, whatever it is, right? I mean, like, and we're not judging anyways. I'm just talking about my personal preference. So
Yeah.
that's why I shave my balls.
Yeah. So if you have
Cock and
hairy balls,
balls,
it's
and
okay. It's okay. Yeah. No, I just someone on that Instagram the other day, like people get heated and
Which
like
Instagram?
the Panty Nectar IG, my Instagram. Someone remember I mentioned on the last podcast that someone was like, yes, I knew I was right. And I was like, whoa, it's
yeah,
just my
yeah.
opinion. It's just my
Yes.
opinion, you guys.
And you know what? I think that brings up a great point that what we talk about here, we don't claim to be right in anything. As a matter of fact, we're probably wrong in a lot of cases. We're just expressing our opinions here.
And we're
That's it.
experts in ourselves and nothing else. And so we talk about that.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
we're
yes.
experts in ourselves. And so this is why we share our experiences that we bring separately to the table and together with you guys.
Yes.
It's just all fun.
You know, Panty Nectar, there's this subreddit that you post in that I find really interesting. It's the ball surfing subreddit.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, you're laying down and like I'm over you and like my balls are just like rubbing back and forth over your face.
Uh-huh.
Like it's crazy how many people are in that subreddit.
You know, I really love like that. So that position I like a whole lot. And I like when Mr. P, I know if most of you have seen the videos, then you see how it goes because that's just authentic stuff. But I love when Mr. P just like grabs my head and just rubs it in his balls.
Oh, yeah.
You like can't breathe for a second.
Yeah. There's kind of this moment of like surrender from you for you like a way. It's just like you're just like, oh, like I'm it's like I don't even know. It's like, oh,
Just
this is so
drag it
good,
all
you know,
around.
like I have this dick in my face. And
That's funny.
you just love that.
You know, the nude beach was really interesting to see. Like at the nude beach, you see a lot of different things going on. You see people that are like completely like bush and everything, or you see guys that are completely shaven. You see low hanging balls, high hanging balls. But so so fun fact, we always sit at the old people side. So
Yeah.
at the nude beach, there's like in Hollover, there's the younger crowd is towards the end, and then the older, like 60s and up, sits at this side of the beach. And like one of our first times going to the nude beach, we sat on that side. We sat on the older side, and so we didn't even know because it was our first time ever. We actually went to the wrong beach at first.
Yes.
And so
they're in Miami, right
yes.
there in Surfside. What was it? Surfside, I think it is.
Surfside,
where that
yeah.
building fell, is where that condo collapsed, right down there.
Yeah. So we unknowingly sat on the older people side, and we ended up meeting like some of the best people that I've ever met in my whole life, including Flamingo Steve. I know we mentioned him before,
Yes.
so if you heard him on the podcast, Flamingo Steve was this. How old was Flamingo Steve? 65.
Yeah, he was is in his mid 60s. Don't want to talk like he's dead. He's still around.
Not yet. Steve's probably going to outlive us all.
Yeah.
He, is from New Jersey. He actually had his dick pierced. Fun fact.
yeah.
And oh my gosh.
Nuts hanging down.
Yes.
Didn't give a shit.
No, and he was like leathery tan because he never put on sunscreen. He was like, not putting that shit on my body.
Yeah.
He is so funny.
Yes. And Steve didn't even have a cell phone.
Yeah.
That's how fucking hard this dude rolls.
He had a
No
camera
cell
that they
phone.
had to go get the pictures developed on at the beach. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Living his best life. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, great.
But at the nude beach, you would see all kind of balls, and we sat by some pretty old balls most of the time. So nice low hanging balls.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a great
fetish.
For people to go to, the nude beach, or there's different, places for people to go where they can get naked. And we've discussed this before, I know, on the podcast, but it's like, it's just a place where you can lose all inhibitions and like quit giving a shit like about, like your personal perception of yourself in a way that like, where you're just like, oh, like no one really cares, like, so why should I care in a way,
We tell people that we know in our personal lives that we enjoyed going to Hollover a lot. And it's funny seeing the reactions. People like, and a lot of people that message us even think it's like something so much more than it is. And it's like, no, it's like the best place on earth. Like no one gives a fuck who you are. I was on there 7-8 months pregnant, like a huge belly. Like no one cares how you look. There's people of all shapes, all sizes, all vulnerable and naked, just like you are, like your partner is. So yeah, it's like, I swear, the prettiest part of the beach right there. It was just, it's incredible. And it's not like, it truly is just a place to truly relax and like kind of let go of everything else going on. It's nice. I don't know. People don't get that unless they go.
Yeah. Not, I was just thinking, because there's no hotels behind the beach right there. The closest hotel is just north of Hollover Beach Park, I believe is what it's technically called. And the closest hotel right there is the Ritz-Carlton. And it faces south, like there's this big section of it that faces south. And I wonder how many like binoculars and telescopes and like 600 millimeter zoom, lenses are set up there to.
Well, shit, if I live by a nude beach,
yeah,
I'm nosy as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of those, there are a lot of people that live in that, as a matter of fact, we met, people that go to Hollover, it's an international place.
Yeah.
Miami is an international city, and people that go to Hollover are from all over the world. But many people that we met are from like that area that moved to that part of Miami to be closest to Hollover. Like, remember that one dude? I can't remember his name. The Jamaican guy that would sit down at the fence and he would just smoke doobies.
He would smoke his blunts over there.
Yeah, and he just rode his bike back and forth. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, maybe he wasn't Jamaican. Was he? I can't remember.
I think he was. He would take care. I guess they all live kind of in around the same neighborhood as Flamingo Steve and stuff. And he would say like he just started taking over watering people's gardens and stuff because he just believed we should have like thriving gardens and self-sufficient food and like just a cool. What was he, a chef in the? What was he saying he was?
He wasn't he in the military or
Navy
or
something.
He was in the Navy. Yeah. He is an old school dude. I really liked him a lot. He
said he got out of that shit somehow. He's like, I realized I wasn't made for that shit. He's like this like peace, love, just wants to live
make
life.
Love, not war.
Yeah.
I agree with that shit, man. Like life's too short for there to be war and us be trying to kill each other and shit. You know? Like live happy and live peacefully. That's the only way to be.
Be kind.
Yeah.
Kind. So I did have a message from a fan that I would like to read. You know, it's funny. I get messages from fans very, very often, and I just have to take them for their word on what they say. But I received this message, and I thought, I need to read this on the podcast because this is kind of juicy. So this is from XM Pittman Man X on Reddit. This was a Reddit chat. So he says, dang, so glad I stumbled across your Reddit page. Even better, your podcast. So here's a story for you. I work in the construction industry for highway reconstruction here in Canada. One day I was in the office and I was listening to your podcast with my AirPods in, and over walks my coordinator, whom is a complete smoke show. I had recently started a fresh episode, so my phone was still open, and she saw the podcast I was watching. Anyway, we finished our work and we discussed she originally walked over to my desk for, and as she's walking away, she goes, great podcast choice. A week goes by and I return to the office like I do once a week. It was just her and I in the office, so she asked what episode I am on now for Panty Nectar. So I tell her, episode 9, does dick size matter? The truth and myths about dick size. I love that he put the whole thing right there. So she grabs one of my AirPods and starts listening with me. She proceeds, and starts listening with me. We get about 1/3 of the way through the episode and she realizes my cock is rock hard. She proceeds to rub my bulge and starts guessing my cock size. Her guess was 9 inches, which made me feel amazing. But I'm very average with my 7-incher.
She sounds like a fisherman.
Well, one thing led to another, and luckily no one else was in the office that day because she sucked my cock like no one's business, and we ended up fucking right on the desk until I filled her pussy.
Wow.
Needless to say, your podcast has brought me some great sexual encounters with my coordinator still to this day.
Dang.
Right? And
I did not. You hadn't even told me about this.
No, I didn't
message.
read this to you.
I like that. Yeah. X-Men Pittman X.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. You know, I got to take people for their word. And if that's a true story, like, damn, that's hot.
Yeah. And
good for that guy.
And so apparently she went and listened to the Panty Nectar podcast
Yeah.
as well, right? And I know that we were looking at the podcast statistics yesterday, the day before, and we were both shocked to learn that the podcast, almost 40% of the podcast listeners of this podcast
Yes.
are women.
Are women.
And I was just thinking, you know, I would think that like, and that, you know, to me, it's, I'm happy that one person listens, right? So like, I don't even think about that. But I was just like, after I saw that, I was like, man, I'd think like 95% would be dudes and like maybe 5%
No,
chicks.
40%.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
39%
So
to be exact. And
so
it's
that
just
kind
like,
of caught
holy
me off
shit.
guard a lot too. That's pretty crazy because, you know, most of the people that write in and message me, they're males. So they're all mostly males.
And
you know?
And I think it's just kind of a great it kind of overlays perfectly with just kind of how we are in society in general, at least like Americans, right? And Westerners, I think mostly. And that's all we can speak for, because this is people listen all over the world to this podcast. It's amazing. And But I think for us, it's like, like in our culture, it's like when you're out, right? Like who goes up and approaches the opposite sex? It's the man going up to approach
Most of
the
the
woman,
time,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it's not the woman approaching. It happens, of course, but like it's just kind of expected that it's going to be the dude approaching the woman, and like sexually as well, like. In our culture, women are perceived to be more sexually reserved. Well, you and I both know that's the furthest thing from the truth, right? And while because it's the men who just seem to be right, it's like the men doing the cat calls when the pretty girl walks down the street or whatever it is. And so like we see that, and that's what's commonly in view, but then we also know that like women are fucking freaks, like more so than dudes. So I think that, that 40% of our listeners being women, it's like, well, it's just kind of the same, they're not out talking about it and they may not be messaging us as much about the podcast, but it's cool to know that all you ladies are out there listening to us. So thank you so much. Great to have you. And the men as well. Everybody who listens, and transgender, whatever you want to be, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I am very, I would really, I would like to hear from the female listeners more. I would like to see what you guys would like to talk about. What are some topics that you would like to hear? Because I know that, what Painting Nectar, what I promote is living an authentic life, living a healthy and
100%.
happy life. And so that revolves around anything. So if you guys want to hear about like what we do for mental health or like, anything, how to approach a guy, how to be confident in yourself, any of these topics, I'd be more than happy to read those messages. So if you are a female listening, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to share even an experience or just anything. One thing that Mr. P and I were actually talking about today is having, these episodes where we hear a lot more from the fans and a lot more up close, and even having, other people that work in the same sex industry, as you will, that we do, have them on the podcast to talk about experiences. So I definitely would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we want to learn from you just as, and it's because it's crazy that people talk about like learning something from us, right? It's like, don't use me as an example, please. But I'm very grateful that people listen and, they hear some words we say that may inspire them in some way. So we're very grateful for that. But also we want to learn from you. Everybody has their own experiences, and I think the further you go through life, you learn that both negative and positive experiences you can learn from, and to take it even a step further, like Eckhart Tolle says, he's like, well, what is a negative experience? What may be taken as a negative experience now can actually be a blessing 2 years from now.
Right.
Just like, me and my job. It's like, and look at what that turned into. So, write in and tell us what you got going on.
And we're not the experts in everything. People ask for certain topics and I just answer them honestly. Like I'm polyamory. They want me to do a topic about that, but I'm not the expert in that. I don't know what being in those relationships looks like. I don't know what that dynamic looks like. And I don't even know what I think it would look like for me. So even having like someone come on and speak about their relationship, or maybe someone that's been in a polyamorous relationship for 20 plus years or something, we also want to align and make sure we're getting the same message out to be kind and be good human beings. But I would love to hear just from other people and their experiences in general.
Well, think of the value. Absolutely. Think of the value that it would add to this audience, right? To this podcast. If people, because there's people that listen to this podcast that are gay.
Right.
There's people who listen to this podcast that are straight, that are men, women, right? Transgender, every which direction you can want to look. So the more people that we can get on to talk about different things, the more that people will, more options people will have to maybe learn something about themselves that they may not have known. So.
Right. Super excited to hear from you guys. Next episode is going to be super juicy as well. It is going to be all about the armpits.
Ooh.
Da-da-da.
Ooh.
We are going to talk about armpit fetish. This has been a highly requested podcast, and I've been doing some research today, and it's been really fun learning more about armpit fetishes.
Oh my gosh. That is like, that is one that I just kind of blindsided me, to be honest. Like I did not know that there's a subreddit. I don't remember which one it is. Armpit. There's one of the armpit subreddits. There's a few of them. It has like 115, 120,000.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a
thing
people in there that that are into armpits. And it's just
Yes.
like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like I've kind of thought about it myself. I'm like, am I into that? I don't know.
You
I
guys
guess
can't see Mr. P right now, but he's like rubbing his head and everything, very confused.
yes, I guess we'll have to save that for next episode.
Yes, it is
I'm
going to
excited
be
for that one.
a good one. So thank you for listening. Please leave a 5-star review if you're listening to this. I would be so grateful, and I'm
Yes.
so excited to hear from you guys and your experiences.
Yes, and also this podcast will be the first one that we put up on Spotify for the video.
Yes, I almost forgot about that huge announcement. Shout out to Spotify. This will be the first video we are uploading straight to Spotify with the podcast. So if you're listening from Spotify, go ahead and check your phone. You can now see us.
Right, but there's only 2 places that you can watch live, which are where we're going right now.
OnlyFans
Yep.
and Discord. So we are going to give a demonstration. Unfortunately, Spotify, you can't see this, but you guys can.
Okay, let me get up here real quick.
I can hold that.
Let's see here.
If you want to go live from yours
Yeah, that's what I want to
real
do
quick,
right
and
here.
I'll hold it. We are going to get set up and do a...
What up? Let's see here.
We are going to get set up and do a demonstration. Mr. P really enjoys hello, his balls being played with. So I thought for all of you guys, we will do a live little play of what Mr. P likes me to do, what I like to do.
Okay. We ready, Penny Nectar?
We are.
Okay. Let's see here.
So Mr. P is going to get right up here by me. Oh, that's
Can we
perfect.
see?
That's perfect. Okay, so Mr. P is standing right above me.
There we go. Try not to hit my head.
Oh! Nice.
Here, let me see this.
I gotta get on my knees.
Fuck, that feels good, baby. What are you doing, Penny?
I'm sucking on your balls.
That makes my dick get hard. Fuck.
Thank you so much.
That feels so good. Thank you so much. I don't know if you were saying thanks to, but I really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, you're so funny.
Oh, man. So I get to sit down with blue balls,
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next time.
Thank you so much again, Penny Nectar, for having me. Thank you, all you amazing people that choose to tune in, and we appreciate you so much.
See ya.